Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for my top 10 comic books of the week. That's right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin Robbie Billups and Station. Tonight, we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite comic books for January 13th, 2021. Not a spec list, just the books of what I would highly recommend if you like reading good comics. At number 10, Future State, Superman, Wonder Woman, number 1, written by Dan Watters with artwork by Del Lucia. But what's the first name? I don't know. Anyway, there's the artwork. I actually really like this book. Dan Watters is someone that I most know from really dark, cerebral, at times in a good way, challenging and nonsensical type work. So to see him do something so unabashedly superhero and throw back to what Grant Morrison, some of his ideas, and Dan does his own tweak to it, but also just really understanding and respecting these new characters. Jonathan Kent as Superman, but most importantly, Yara Flor as Wonder Woman. I am loving this freaking character. I'm loving this book. The artwork was not something that I was really quite into when I first read it, but I've read it a second time, and the artwork works a little bit better for me. It's got some really great moments with some great emotive expressions from the characters and the layouts and everything. It works fine. And I'm really excited to see Dan Watters be able to just leap into this hope and optimistic type feel for DC Comics, but still do his own thing. And I love the continuous integration of South American mythology into more of the familiar mythology here in the US, at least, with like the Greeks and the Romans and, all that kind of stuff. So that's a really cool spotlight. Number 10, Superman, Wonder Woman, number 1 from DC Future State. At number 9, A Man Among Ye, number 4. Now, this is the end of the first arc, and judging by the letter that writer Stephanie Phillips writes at the end of the book, it seems like this may be the last issue for a bit. I really hope it comes back. I never thought I wanted a great, fun, swashbuckling pirate adventure with great characterization, really great turns and twists, and A Man Among Ye told me that I did. I absolutely love this book. Stephanie Phillips does a great job with the characterizations. Craig Cermak, John Calise, they do an amazing job with the artwork. It's crisp. It's clean. It will strike a familiar tone because it does come across, in terms of structure and even dialogue, very Pirates of the Caribbean. But remember, Pirates of the Caribbean is kind of a big throwback to the old school pirate films. So pirate fiction, not something I've ever really would have said I was a big fan of, but I absolutely love this book. It's got that swashbuckling sense. They're doing a great job with the characters. The dialogue is spot on. It's a nice, fun, free, loose book that's easy to read with clean artwork. At number 9, A Man Among Ye from Image Comics. At number 8, Future State. Dark Detective, ain't it great? Anyway, I'm just being silly. Dark Detective number 1, I really like. So it's one of those obnoxious Future State, oversized, extra priced issues. It's $5.99. But y'all, I'm going to tell you, this one I think is worth $5.99 because, first of all, you have a brilliant story in here with amazing artwork by Dan Mora and colorist Jordi Belair. This is set in that next Batman Magistrate era of this like cyberpunk neo-future version of Gotham, but this tells the story of what's up with Bruce Wayne. Mariko Tamaki is a pretty solid writer when she has a really solid artist to really complement her script, and that's what she gets with Dan Mora and Jordi Belair. I love how Jordi Belair is able to color this with a palette slightly different than Tamara Bonvillain's kind of set palette that it seems like most of the other Magistrate Future State books are kind of picking up on. She has a little bit of a different palette, but it still captures that same tone, and I love it. And the backup story by Matthew Rosenberg with artwork by Carmine Dijon Domenico. This is awesome because it's a great action-packed, fun grifter story. And I love me a good grifter story. And since DC books come out on Tuesday, I'm going to go ahead and show you the money shot right there. That made my 90s Robbie fanboy heart jump so much every time I see Grifter in a modern comic wearing that mask. It flips me out and I love it. So I thought this was well worth the $5.99 and one of the best Future State books to date. Dark Detective, number 1. At number 8, Future State. It's sort of great at times. For instance, Dark Detective. At number 7, Space Bastards. Number 1 by Humanoids. This was the sleeper hit of the week. This book was nowhere near my radar. Didn't even realize that this was coming in. And I may have even covered this on a weekly pop culture wrap-up because I probably did. But it's a Humanoids book, but it's got artwork and it's co-created by Derek Robertson. Now, I'm a huge fan of Derek Robertson. He was, of course, the artist of The Boys. He was the artist of Transmetropolitan, which is one of my absolute favorite sci-fi comics of the 90s. That one was written by Warren Ellis. This one is so freaking solid. So the basic premise of this is that there's an intergalactic postal service. So this is a future world with spacecraft and faraway other worlds and aliens and all kinds of stuff. And this is about the postal service. So what happens is it's kind of run like a bounty service. Each delivery has a bounty. So as soon as you pick it up, it's worth this much if you deliver it to where it's supposed to go across the galaxy. However, if someone, I don't know, mugs you, kills you, ganks you up, and just completely you get got, and they take your package, they charge a fee to shift the courier. They charge a fee to the person who's paying to have the package delivered. Therefore, every time the package exchanges hands, it goes up in value, leading it to a lot of chaos, a lot of craziness, a lot of violence, a lot of fun, a lot of boisterous, loud activity. I loved this book. It's Derek Robertson. It's Exercise. It's $5.99. I guess we just got to get used to the $5.99 comic. That sucks. But it's written by Eric Peterson and Joe Aubrey. But the artwork by Derek Robertson really sells this. But the fun, zany nature of this feels very close to like some 90s Vertigo type stuff that would have slept under the radar in the test of time. And this is a really fun book. It was definitely the sleeper hit of the week. That was number 7. At number 6, we've got Homesick Pilots, issue number 2. I am loving this. This is one of those more dark, cerebral-natured Dan Waters book, but at the same time, it's stretching a little bit further and a little bit different as well. And I think that's really awesome because Dan Waters, it's great to see that he doesn't just pigeonhole himself into one box as far as theme and subtext and just story and concept. This book is amazing. Artwork by Casper Wingard, including the coloring. Aditya Bidikar is the letterer, the best letterer out there. The design work on this book is absolutely fantastic. That's Tom Muller. He's one of the best designers in comics. He does work, for instance, with Jonathan Hickman on Decorum and even the X-Men books. But really like the artwork. Very clean, very precise. But it's a great story about a punk rock band in the 90s. And the lead singer of this band is trying to, elevate her own life and elevate the band, right? So she has this idea that they're going to play a punk rock show at this haunted house. So she goes to this haunted house, and then all of a sudden she disappears. And this house, basically gets up, walks around, and starts killing people on its own. But it's got this history. It's got these ghosts, but these ghosts have left this house. It's almost like this house, like her, is crying out because she has lost something, and the house has lost something. So it's almost like it finds a connection with her, right? And now the house kind of gets her to go out and hunt down these missing items, which are connected to missing ghosts. And the whole idea of trying to go out there and find the missing pieces of yourself and wrapping it up in a really cool, fun, sleek, interesting story with a really neat concept and really building out that character work now in issue number 2. Homesick Pilots number 2 was super, super solid. That was number 7 of the week. No, that was number 6. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Yeah, that was number 6 of the week. Number 5. All right, just got to make sure it's right. At number 5, we've got 7 Secrets. Number 6, this is the end of the first arc. Tom Taylor's done a great job with a cool concept. There are 7 secrets. Secrets that cannot be unleashed upon the world. So there's this organization that's eons old that protects these secrets. And each secret has a holder like a protector, like someone who holds it and then someone who protects it, like will fight for it. And there's this organization that's against this organization trying to figure out these 7 secrets, unlock their power for themselves. And so what Tom Taylor has done in 6 issues has built up this concept, built up this world, this organization, these characters, gotten us really emotionally charged and connected to it, right? And then 7 Secrets number 6 takes it all to the extreme level, and it just rocks out. I loved this so much. It got to parts of the story that I didn't think they were going to get, because it felt like maybe they were going to kind of bide their time with certain reveals, but they don't. And everything has now been perfectly set up. This was a great first arc, a great conclusion to that first arc. The artwork by Danielle De Niculo is awesome. It's got this anime influence to it. Tom Taylor knows how to do character work. Walter Baiamonte does some amazing work with the coloring. Ed Dukeshire on the lettering. I love the composition. Like I said, a little bit manga, a little bit Western, but very much unique and on its own high-octane action, emotional character beats. Number 5 was 7 Secrets. Number 6. At number 4, we have Autumnal. Number 4, the best issue of this series yet. I'm loving this one from Vault Comics. Written by Danielle Krause with artwork by Chris Sheehan, Jason Wording on the coloring, Jim Campbell on the artwork. This has been a really slow burn for like 3 issues. And now here in issue number 4, we get the big exposition issue that tells everything about what's actually going on. And it puts everything in a recontext for issues 1, 2, and 3, and exactly how creepy the trees and the leaves are in this beautiful, picturesque, fall-esque type town filled with its own individual horrors. The Autumnal number 4 does a great job of delivering pretty much a pure exposition issue, but still having it feel very atmospheric, incredibly moody, great coloring that adds so much texture and edge to the artwork. I love the panel work. I love the usage of the wide white gutters right there. Fantastic stuff, really interesting concepts, and they have completely won me over with Autumnal number 4. And seriously, this is one of the best Vault books on the shelf right now. At number 4 was Autumnal number 4. At number 3, Lonely Receiver number 5, the final issue. Written by Zach Thompson with artwork by Jen Hickman and lettering by Simon Bolin. I love this book so much. What is this book? It's weird. It is cerebral. I'm trying to find a page without nudity to show you. It is weird. It is cerebral. It's got amazing artwork by Jen Hickman. I love their style and how they can shift and change their style to the tone appropriate for each story. And you feel like this is a very personal journey, not just for the creators, but for us as the readers. This book is about connection. This book is about your relationship with individuals, with yourself, with technology, and the way it wraps itself up in a very bold and matter-of-fact type way, with a lot of narration, with a lot of juxtapositioning that with the imagery. I freaking love this book. It was one of the best books of 2020. It nailed my top 10, if not 5, if I remember correctly. But Lonely Receiver had a very strong finish. I love this, and I'm very excited for what Zach Thompson has coming up next, because I've been able to read the first 2 issues of his next series, which is I Breathed a Body, also from Aftershock. And if you like this book, you're going to love that book. Fantastic stuff. So at number 3, we've got Lonely Receiver, number 5, the final issue. At number 2, The Red Mother, number 12. This is the final issue of The Red Mother. I have loved the hell out of this book. Written by Jeremy Hahn, with artwork by Danny Luckert, and lettering by Ed Dukeshire. This book was amazing. This was the end of 12 issues. A few issues ago, I was able to peg down that, even though I didn't realize it at the time, I was like, this feels like it's going 12 issues. And if it's going 12 issues, this has got a really nice, tight structure that I find incredibly entertaining, very chilling, and all in all, a great exploration on what it's like to deal with a trauma, whether it's something physical that's happened to you, something emotional, something mental, and how this book, and it's a very breezy read, right? And Red Mother's been like that, but there's not a line of dialogue. There's not a single line of artwork, a shade of color. There's nothing, a tail on a word balloon. There's nothing there that's out of place. Everything is so meticulously crafted to hit a certain peak. And this is the peak, And all in all, this is an amazing series that does a great job of taking a horror concept and slow playing it a little bit, a la something like Clive Barker's Hellbound Heart / Hellraiser, and really doing something amazing with it. The artwork was always beautiful. The coloring was always amazing. This book was always incredibly precise, and the conclusion is incredibly precise. The first time I read this one, I was a little bit like, that seemed quick, so it made it feel anticlimactic. Then I let it sink in a little bit more, reread it more deliberately, a little bit slower, and y'all, I love the ending of Red Mother, and I think that the way the narrative goes compared to the subtext and what it means to move on from trauma, but you're still always haunted by it. It's always going to be there, whatever it is, right? It's still always there. Any kind of hurt or loss, it's always going to be there, but we got to rise and we got to move forward. And that's what that book is about. And of course, need I remind you that plucking out the eye is a symbol of wisdom in ancient mythology. And at number 1, we already know it was the pick of the week. Bam! Ha ha! Number 1 by W. Maxwell Prince, first issue by Vanessa Del Rey. I freaking loved this book. The coloring was Chris O'Halloran, lettering by good old Neon. The exact same creative team of Ice Cream Man. However, the art is different, and the art will change each issue. This is an anthology series. It's going to go for 6 issues. It was a big, hot spec book for some reason. Trust me, do not overpay for this book. Image overprinted it. They offered returnability. There should be plenty of these out there. If you can't find one, holler at me. We got plenty of them. Haha number 1 was a fantastic book, though. This had, first of all, great artwork by Vanessa Del Rey, which is completely different from the artwork on Ice Cream Man. It's got more grit. It's got more dirt. It's got more edge to it, right? And I think it really fits the oddball nature of the story. It does tonally feel like an Ice Cream Man book, but at the same time, it's different because it's doing something different. This doesn't seem to be leading into any kind of overall narrative, however thin it may be in Ice Cream Man. Haha number 1 was just a really great story, a little reminiscent of certain Joker stories, including the new movie with Joaquin Phoenix, but done in a different way, in a funny, humorous, bittersweet, sad, terrible, tragic, but at the same time hopeful kind of way. W. Maxwell Prince hits this kind of tone all the time on Ice Cream Man. He does it here. 6 issues of him kind of doing that thing with clowns. Y'all, this book was awesome. I loved it. It wasn't just my pick of the week. It was Jim Mint's pick of the week. And when me and Jim tell you that a book is the pick of the week, y'all, you need to pay attention to it. That book was fire. People are overcharging for it right now. Don't overpay for the book. There are plenty of them out there. Image printed the shit out of this. Anyway, recapping at number 10, Future State, Superman, Wonder Woman, number 1. At number 9, A Man Among Ye, number 4 from Image Comics. At number 8, Future State, Dark Detective. It was kind of great. Number 1 from DC Comics. At number 7, Space Bastards, number 1, the sleeper hit of the week from Humanoids Incorporated. This one was co-created by Derek Robertson with artwork all the way through by Derek Robertson. That was amazing. At number 6, Homesick Pilots, number 2 from Image Comics. At number 5, 7 Secrets, number 6 from Boom Studios. At number 4, the autumnal number 4 from Vault Comics. At number 3, A Lonely Receiver. Number 5, the final issue from Aftershock. At number 2, The Red Mother. Number 12, the final issue from Boom Studios. And at number 1, Haha from Image Comics. So that was the top 10 of the week. We are 5 minutes away from Jay Strick joining us. So stay tuned for that. But thank you so much for checking out the top 10 portion of tonight's show. Let me know in the comments below or in the live chat right now, what are your favorite comic books of the week? What's your top 10? What's your top 3? What's your top whatever? Join us over at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts, blogs, and a whole lot more. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Keep on reading.